I got 3 things that are going to improve the contact with your irons, and the best part is they're not going to require you to change your swing, and they take less than 15 seconds. Now here's what we know, is that when we hit a good iron shot, the club comes in contact with the ball and then the ground. We call that a downward angle of attack, right? We want to hit the ball and then we want to hit the ground. So how do we do that? Now, if you followed any of our stuff, you know that the center of the position, the center of the swing, the bottom of the swing we'll call it, is pretty much equals to where the buttons are on your golf shirt. So I got a 7-iron right here. So the first tip I want to give you before you even start your swing is to put your feet together and go ahead and aim the club face. Now when you're hitting an iron, I want you to take a step towards the target and a step away from the target about equal distance. So let me go through that again. I'm sitting here, my feet are together, I aim the club face. Let's say for sake of discussion, I step towards the target 4 inches, I'm going to step away from the target also 4 inches. This positions the ball more in the center of my stance, basically kind of where the buttons are typically on a golf shirt. Now I don't have my golf shirts and my golf shirt's underneath right now, but you get the idea. So the first thing is proper ball position. Now the next thing is, believe it or not, this is a key concept of the vertical line swing, it's what we call the 60-40. Now when we talk about weight or pressure on the feet, we like to see in the vertical line swing a little bit more weight on the lead foot. So let's go through that. So when we're set in here, okay, tip number 2 is weight on the feet. So I want you to feel like your weight moves a little bit towards your lead foot. Now why is that important? Why do I want to start with a little bit of weight on my lead foot when I hit my irons? Well, because a couple things. Number 1 is the shifting of weight from front to trail back to the front is a great way for us to increase club head speed and create power. But here's the other thing you need to understand is where the weight is at on the feet also has a huge impact on where the club hits the ground. So remember, we've learned that we want to hit the ball and then we want to hit the ground. So we want to move the bottom of the swing forward. So when that weight starts moving forward, that moves the bottom of the swing forward. So let me just go ahead and demonstrate that. And I'm going to give you a drill here at the end to kind of tie all this together. So here we go. I've already got my feet together. I step towards and I step away equal distance. I start with a little bit more weight on my lead foot. 60 here, 40 here, so that I can move it to the trail and then move it back to the lead. Let me go ahead and hit one here. And I'm going to give you a drill and we're going to talk about that handle in a second. So here we go. Start lead, trail, and then into the lead. That was solid, maybe a tad thin, you could tell, because I only took just a little bit of a divot there. Not a lot. Those are the first 2 things. Ball position and weight shift. The number 1 thing I want to talk about here is the handle position before we get into the drill. When you're sitting there with an iron, you want to feel like the butt end of the club, which is right here, is ever so slightly in front of the golf ball, right? So this would be good, this would be bad. Now why is that? Well, when I get that handle a little bit forward, number 1 is it helps me hit a little bit more down on the golf ball, but also it takes a little bit of the loft and de-lofts it just a little bit so we get more of a penetrating ball flight. So let's tie these 3 together and I'm going to give you a drill to help you work on all this. So feet together, all right? Step towards, step away, equal distance. 60% of the weight on my lead foot. Handle a little forward, here we go. Okay, now that one you could tell. Nick, how was that? Give me the thumbs up. There's my main man, Nick, is behind the counter. Hey, he gave us a thumbs up. Please give us a thumbs up on this video as well. But you could see I took a little bit of a divot. A little bit more on top of it, hit the ball, and then I hit the ground. All right, so those are the 3 things that you can do before you even start your swing that don't require you to change your swing, that can improve your contact. But I also promised you a drill. Here's one of my favorite drills when it comes to irons, okay? Because the biggest reason that I see amateur golfers struggle with contact and not hitting the ball first is their weight stays on their back foot. They start their downswing, weight stays on their back foot. So what you're gonna do here, this is just eventually you can just hit in a golf ball, but for today we're gonna do it with just a practice swing. So here we go. I want you to take your regular setup, take your lead foot and bring it back to your trail. See that? So regular setup, lead foot back to trail, kind of reset the club, swing it up, and then swing forward. As you swing forward, you step forward. See that? So here we go. Regular setup, lead foot back, swing, step. Now after you get the hang of that, you can actually do it with the ball. Let's go ahead and try it out. So here we go. Feet together, Let me clear that off. I got my square shoes on here. These things are fantastic. They're the new version. I just got them out this morning. Comfortable and also great for balance. So here we go, a little step, step. Got my 60-40, all right. Let me bring it back, swing it up, and step towards the target. These are 3 things that you can do before you even start your swing that don't require you to change your swing, and it can improve your contact with your irons. Now that we got you hitting the golf ball more solid, check out my next video. And if you want to personally work with us and my team on your golf game, check out VLScoaching.com.